This is the Morning Swim Show for Friday, January 15th, 2010. I'm your host, Peter Bush, and today in the Finis Monitor, we'll talk to Cal Bears men's head coach, Dave Durden, and we'll also have the results of the poll of the week and give you the new poll question. And right now, let's talk to Dave Durden. His Golden Bears are Garrett McCaffrey's dark horse pick to win the NCAA championships this year, and Coach joins us right now in the Finis Monitor. Coach, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
Doing good, Peter. How are you?
Good, thanks. So Garrett McCaffrey says you guys could win it all in March. Is that in line with your beliefs?
Yeah, I always joke with Garrett about this too. That Garrett was the one that picked the French relay to win at World Champs in 2009, and wasn't right with that one. So I always joke with him. I kid, but we have a good group of returners, and I'm sure. We're one of 6 schools that feels pretty comfortable with going into that meet with the athletes that we have and competing. So, we're kind of just leaving that meet where it's at. It's at the end of March, and we've got a lot of things to do between now and then, and those are the things that we're focusing in on.
So you're saying you would rather never be Garrett McCaffrey's pick to win anything?
I'm not saying that, but you said it.
All right, well, you mentioned that you have some swimmers that you think can put you in a position to possibly win. Obviously, Sure. It starts with Nathan Adrian, who is just amazing. I mean, last year he was incredible too, but ever since Rome, it seems like he's jumped to another level. I mean, the guy just went 47.8 in the 100 free. He was wearing a jacket, kind of an exhibition swim, but he's obviously shown this year he can do these amazing times even in a jammer.
Sure. I think you nailed it right on the head. I mean, he's done a lot of things, and I would even extend that. I wouldn't even say this fall, but I think really over the last 12 months now that he's starting to see some successes from, and it's been good. I mean, he knows that he still has got a ways to go, and I think he's very patient with that. But it's been really exciting to see day in and day out, and it's raised the level of our training environment. So it's not only been helpful for him, but it's also been really helpful and encouraging for our other athletes in the pool with him.
All right, so is he the kind of guy that will wow you in practice, or does he basically just save it up for the meets?
No, his train has been on point. Both in the water, in the weight room. He's just been doing a really nice job. So, when these performances in December, November, happen, it's not anything that really it kind of stands alone. I mean, I think it's just a continuation of how he's been training and how he's been performing in practice over the last year.
Coach, our poll question this upcoming week, we'll just give people a sneak peek, is kind of looking forward into this next decade of which program will have the most dominance. And along those lines, first of all, let me ask you about that question. I mean, you are one of the teams we're letting people choose. I mean, do you project, I know you got to take it year by year, but look at being there at Cal for a long time and this being a place where you're going to try and build some tradition and some national championships?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, behind me on the wall is kind of our quad calendar that we look at, things over the course of 4 years, but even extending that beyond the 2012 calendar and on to 2016. I think, we have some athletes that are in good positions to do some very good things. We have some great resources. We have a great fan base, a great alumni base that are really excited about what we're doing, and obviously that excitement parlays into what we do as coaches and what our athletes do every day in the water. You can just feel that and sense that. So it's really, it's really a good time for us, especially as we go into 2012 or even 2016. I feel like we're gaining some good momentum, some good steam, and it's fun to be a part of that.
Another poll question type question that we were thinking about here is, what is the best rivalry in college swimming and diving? I mean, would it be Cal-Stanford? Would it be Auburn Texas or Auburn, Georgia? You've been around the block. What's your 2 cents on that?
I think any one of those are great rivalries for different reasons. I was at Auburn when you mentioned Auburn, Texas, or even Auburn, Georgia, or even Auburn, Florida. You have some very intense coaches, intense programs, intense athletes, and I think that brings out some great performances. And it's no different. Cal, Stanford. We have a tremendous amount of respect for Skip and the athletes at Stanford and what they have accomplished and what they're continuing to do, and it always draws the best out of us. We're pretty fortunate in that we have the opportunity to see Stanford at a couple different times throughout the year. We had an exhibition meet with them in November. We'll have our dual meet with them traditionally in the middle of February, and then Pac-10s and NC2As. So when you see guys like that on a kind of a continuum, it makes things very exciting from a dual meet or even from a meet competition perspective.
Well, you guys have an off weekend this weekend, just kind of a smaller club meet, but then next weekend, big time Pac-10 competition. The Arizona schools come to town to swim against you guys in Stanford, so rest up.
Yeah, thank you. We're going to need it. Arizona's taken us behind the woodshed the last couple of years, so hopefully we can give them a good meet and have some good performances in the process.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck the rest of the season.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Dave Durden joining us from Cal, and we will be right back with the new poll question.
Economy's been a little rough, man.
Oh, man, just brutal.
It's times like these that E-Trade can really help you replan your investments.
Yep.
So, it gives you the tools and research. Take control. Rise up.
Take these broken wings.
No.
What?
Stop.
What, I can't flex the golden pipes?
It's not the venue.
It's inspirational.
Any place.
Fine.
Okay, where was I?
And learn to fly again.
Take control with one of the most powerful investing machines there is. Join the 1,000 new accounts a day at E-Trade.
The poll question this week was, which college swimming and diving program will win the most NCAA Division I championships in this next decade? And you voted Texas most likely, about 34%. Auburn was second, and Arizona third. Now, we want to be a little bit more specific this week, so we're going to break it up into men's and women's programs. Here are the options for the women's: Cal, Stanford, Arizona, Texas, and Georgia that you see right there. Going to be very similar for the men's: Cal, Stanford, Arizona, Texas, Auburn, and Michigan instead of Georgia. So for the women, you got Georgia in there with the other 5 big ones, and then the guy side, you got Michigan. And you can also have an other option. So let's get the debate going on Swimming World TV. That's it for the show today. I'm Peter Bush, reminding you to keep your head down at the finish. Magazine begins its 51st year with a look back at the biggest events of 2008. On our cover is South African Cameron Vanderburg, who figured in many of the top headlines of the last year, from his numerous world records to his dominance on the World Cup circuit. Our look back at the top stories of 2008 begins on page 7, where Jason Marsteller recaps the events in and out of the pool that captivated aquatic sports fans. We also look back on the 5 World Cup meets, which saw more than a dozen world records broken in 6 weeks. That recap begins on page 16. One of the top people to watch in 2010 is Ariana Kukers, and senior writer John Lone profiles the world record holder on page 18. And we continue to look ahead to 2010 with a peek into the schedules of synchronized swimming, diving, water polo, and open water swimming. Our main section closes out with a list of the 10 most influential people in USA swimming on page 24, and a rundown of the National Age Group Top 10, a list of world records, and world rankings from 2009. Our swim section has a column by Carlin Pipes Nielsen on motivation to swim after the holidays and a pictorial on the best abdominal exercises to improve turns. Todd Schmitz, the coach of Colorado Stars, and Missy Franklin, does a Q&A with Mike Stott on page 30, and we've got a list of the best accomplishments across the country by age group swimmers on page 33. If you're not a premium subscriber, you're missing out on a lot of added content in our online digital version. From bonus stories to full meet results, you can get so much more than what you see in our print version. To become a premium subscriber, go to swimmingworld.com, click on the subscribe link.